Here we have the Samsung Galaxy Alpha Fold laptop. Without a doubt, this is a traveler's best friend with its almost all-day battery life, its nice aluminum chassis. It's a all-around good feeling, good performing computer. But we're reaching a bit of an epidemic here in the computer design world, and that is that a lot of manufacturers think that it's a good idea to have silver keycaps on their laptops. Well, I'm here today to discuss what is otherwise a very, very fantastic machine that is maybe ruined by what is one of the dumbest design issues of all time. So let's get a couple of quick specs out of the way. This is a 13.3-inch QLED full high definition touchscreen, and that QLED makes for a very colorful and very vibrant screen. It's very powerful. It's got an i5 10th generation processor that can of course be spec'd higher. This one comes with 8 gigs of RAM, which can of course spec higher. Comes with an NVMe solid state drive and with an Intel UHD graphics card. So while you're not going to be able to do any kind of like heavy gaming or video editing on this thing is absolutely perfect for a student or a traveler. Basically somebody that's getting in and out of an airplane or in and out of a classroom. It's just fantastic for those for moving around. So this one comes with, of course, a webcam, and here's what the footage looks like now. This is a test of what the camera looks like on the Samsung laptop. And that webcam is obviously more than adequate. You can use it for working from home, for Skype, for pretty much whatever your video call needs. It's no problem. It has Bluetooth, it has Wi-Fi 6, so it's got all the latest wireless tech kind of built in too. It has a dual microphone audio setup too, so you get certainly decent fidelity on it, but I don't know if you want to record like a podcast or anything like that on it. Comes with a fingerprint scanner as well. So by all accounts, it's pretty well equipped. It comes with a backlight on the keyboard as well, and the battery life on it is unbelievable. You can absolutely, practically speaking, get a full day of use out of this laptop. And again, that makes it ideal for people that are bouncing around an office classroom or in an airport. This is really one of the best traveler's notebooks I think we've ever seen. As far as input and output is concerned on this computer, this one has dual headphone audio mic jack, basically microphone, headphone jack. I'm not sure why I couldn't think of the words in that part. It has a USB-C port. It has HDMI if you ever need to bounce this bad boy off a projector. And then of course it has where you plug it in because it doesn't run on solar energy. I keep telling you people this. You just don't listen. And then on this side, you've got 2 USB super speeds, you've got a mini camera card reader, and of course, where you turn it on. And I must say that the input and output on this little tiny traveler's laptop is exceptionally good. I really think they did an outstanding job with the I/O. They really left you desiring almost nothing. They didn't give you like one little USB 2 port for any sort of cheapening reason. It's just really good I/O, and I think that if you're using it, even like in an audio setup or something like that, you'll be able to get a lot of good performance out of it. It also bends totally backwards into a tablet if that is something that you so choose to use. Comes with a full high definition screen, and that screen is certainly bright enough to work outside with if you need. It's not the brightest screen I ever use, and if you unplug it, it does kind of go into a power saving mode that will dim the screen, and no matter how much you try to max out the brightness, it just absolutely will not will get that bright. So, you know, if you're like working outside on a campus of some kind, you might have a little bit of trouble reading the screen without disabling that power saving feature. That said, if you're plugged in anywhere, it gets bright enough to where you can have like heavy overhead lights in an airport or something like that, and you can do just fine. Not the best screen in the world I've ever seen, but it is certainly better than that of Asus and even Acer's. Frankly, even beats out some of the Dell screens as well. It's not as good as the Apple's. It's a good quality screen. Again, FHD, bright enough. Can I keep going on about the screen? It's a good screen. It's a good screen. It's better than okay. It's good. Not great. It's like an 8 out of 10. Somewhere around there for an FHD screen. Let's move on. Let's quit talking about the screen. Now let's get to the bad parts about this notebook. The trackpad leaves a little bit to be desired. It's very small, and it's sort of susceptible to ghost input, and it does sort of glide around as if it's on ice just ever so slightly. It's not as bad as some of the Asus VivoBook touchpads, but it leaves a lot to be desired. Now let's talk about something that, in my opinion, is one of the worst things that a manufacturer can do these days, and for some reason it's becoming in vogue to do so, and that is put silver keys on the keyboard. what is otherwise a phenomenal keyboard, in that it is comfortable to type on. You can type very fast with not a lot of typos. The screen, the key caps themselves feel very like stiff and good, and just again pleasant to kind of just pluck away on. Oh, and they're big. They're like good full-size keys as well. But they decided to use the silver keycaps with the sort of light gray lettering. And it is very, very tough to see the keys, even if you have the backlight on, much less if you don't have the backlight on the keyboard on. Very hard to see the keys. And that is an absolute deal breaker for a lot of people. And not everybody is a typist, and for that matter, some people just want to be able to quickly glance over and see what they're about to click on. But Samsung decided, and along with Asus as well, they're huge offenders for this, that they went with the silver key keyboard. And I wouldn't say that that's a complete deal breaker on this machine for most people. Like, in other words, I can get past that, I suppose, but what is otherwise such a well thought out computer, and it's so beautifully simple too, right? There's not a lot going on. They kind of took a page out of Apple's book. This is just sort of functionally designed for beauty and simplicity. But why did you guys have to put silver fucking keys on it? I mean, come on, I just don't understand. But you did. And you even have this like little blue one for the fingerprint reader there, and it looks great. You should have made them all blue. That said, they didn't. But that's what you get with this notebook. So who is it for? It's for like students, people that are traveling in airports a lot, maybe like a journalist, something like that. It doesn't have a full-size keyboard on it, which of course you wouldn't want to because it has silver keycaps anyway, so it's not really for like accountants or heavy gamers. It doesn't really have a graphics card to run that. You could certainly do some audio processing on this computer as well with the USB-C and good I/O that this thing has. Wouldn't really recommend doing any kind of heavy video editing on it. You can maybe do some light stuff if you had to, 1080p. But otherwise it is just a very, very nice computer. It has okay speaker quality for the 13-inch laptop that it is, but most 13-inch laptops other than the Apple MacBook Pro really have that great of speakers in them. So I really, really do like this computer a lot. I think it's a great machine, and I think anybody that buys it will be very happy with it. It can probably take a beating and be very reliable. But for God's sake, people, please stop putting silver keys on your laptops. Anyway, we hope this review was helpful. Please like and subscribe, and we will be back with another video really soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach down to us in the comments section. Good night.